We are Group 6 and we are going to present on the case of SF Express Airport. This is the outline of our presentation, and I will talk about the background of this company first. Since its establishment in 1993, Shenzhen-based SF Express has become one of China's leading courier service companies, with 73,000 vehicles, 268,800 couriers, and 40,000 service centers across the local and overseas market. In most of the major Chinese cities, SF Express can guarantee packages to be delivered within 24 hours. As the second largest courier service firm in the Chinese market, SF aims to provide customers with optimized logistics solutions. In 2010, SF Express became the first Chinese private express delivery company to build its own cargo airlines. It processes 1,977 airline routes with a 3,800 daily takeoff number. Currently, the company owns 55 private cargo aircraft. In 2017, SF Express joined with the Hubei government to invest 37.26 billion RMB into the construction of SF International Airport in Hubei, Ezhou. It is expected to operate starting from 2020. The airport has a planned annual capacity of 1 million tons of cargo by 2021. In the long run, SF Express plans to reach an annual flight throughput of 5 million tons. When the entire project is finished, this airport will be Asia's first and largest cargo center, ranking the 4th place in the world.
I will talk about the value of Shunfeng Express Airport and start from external environment of the whole industry. The first step is analyze PASTO. In political aspects, the program of One Belt One Road has increased demand for light industrial products exported from China to countries along the New Silk Road, and the cooperation among governments promote the elimination of trade barriers. In addition, Chinese government support the development of transportation infrastructure in West Asian countries. All these points imply that there will be a huge potential overseas market for delivery company. Experts believe that it can add value to the industry. About economic and social cultural aspects, rapid development of e-commerce provide a large amount of opportunities. There are 5.1 billion mobile e-commerce users and 77% consumer use online order in Asia, which is the highest over the world. Their consumer behavior have boosted logistics service too, which also add value for the industry. Next point is technology. I will analyze it from an example, Internet of Things. The technology could integrate data connected from several things and combine information with big data, help to improve the consumer behavior predictions and value to the whole industry. However, technology also brings about negative effects such as privacy issues and security problems to delivery company. This influence might reduce the value. And after analyze the PASTO, I will focus on 5 force analysis. Firstly, the bargaining power of consumer. For individual consumer, they have quite low power because of the large amount of user and relatively small amount of parcels they deliver. It can add value. But for some e-commerce giant and large corporate firm, they have high bargaining power and the value of the industry might be decreased. Secondly, threats of existing competitor. Nowadays, many firms enter the competition. For example, Jingdong Logistics cooperated with Nantong government to invest highlight hub in Nantong. Cainiao make joint efforts with Rentong Logistics to develop an international logistics hub in Hong Kong International Airport. The tough competition might reduce the value of industry. Thirdly, we also need to consider the bargaining power of supplier, because delivery company always modify retired passenger aircraft to form their own fleets. They could purchase planes through various channels. For instance, Shunfeng Express bought 2 airplanes from Taobao. It demonstrates that suppliers have relatively low bargaining power, which could increase the industry's value. The next consideration is threats of new entrants. Due to the high capital requirement, brand loyalty, and the need of government support, it's difficult to enter in the industry, which means that the value will aid. Finally, the substitute. Customers choose delivery company, prefer time-definite that door-to-door service, and other modes of transportation can't substitute this function, so it's hard to substitute the value increase of the whole industry.
I will talk about the internal analysis part of value. The VRIO framework will be applied. First, the Shunfeng Express Airport is a valuable internal resource. It is located in the demographic center of China. Within 1.5 hours radius, 80% population and 90% economic output of China would be covered. As an air hub, all the aircraft fly from everywhere of China to the hub. After sorting and reloading the cargoes, these aircraft fly back to where they come from to finish the delivery. So, the more center it locates, the better outcome there would be. Second, Shunfeng Express also has large aircraft fleet that it has 57 all-cargo aircrafts. When the airport is start to use, this mode will be operated quickly. Second is the rare internal resource. These two graphs shows that the revenue and net income of Shunfeng Express is much higher than its competitors, so it can afford the large investments in the early stage because it has enough capital. And also, Shunfeng Express has large all-cargo fleet because the airport function is mainly for cargoes, and Shunfeng Express already has 57 all-cargo aircrafts, but YTO among its competitors has the most all-cargo aircrafts that only has 12, and its competitors usually use the belly hold aircrafts, which is half cargo and half passengers aircrafts. But this kind of aircraft needs to consider the passengers first. However, this airport is mainly for cargoes but has limited amount of passengers. So if its competitors would like to use this mode, they should use more all-cargo aircrafts, and Shunfeng Express resource is rare. Third is the costly to imitate. As what I've analyzed above, the cost in the early stage is costly and it needs a large amount of money and capital. Second is the negotiation with the government. Shunfeng Express already finished these negotiations, while its competitors should negotiate and plan with the government for uh, for a lot of things. Finally, Shunfeng Express is also organized because one good news is that it went to public in 2017, so the company would be more formal. The organization and the administration would be more formal, and the company would be easier to access to the capital market. Above these internal resources, those are all value added to the company. And that's all for my part. Thank you for your listening.
After analyze the value of Shunfeng Airport, we will further analyze the cost of Shunfeng Airport because the cost will also influence the competitive advantage. And the first part is cost of Shunfeng Airport need include the cost of land, cost of construction,
cost of airplanes, cost of employees, cost of technology, and other costs like cost of advertisement, cost of operations. And here is the cost structure of Shenzhen Airport, and it is obviously that China government give a lot of support to Shenzhen Airport construction. And here we use PESTEL to analyze the Shenzhen Airport costs. The first one is the political issue. As we mentioned before, based on One Belt One Road political, with the support of government and government bank, the cost of Shenzhen Airport is reduced a lot. The second part is economic and social cultural aspect. There is a positive prospect of future economic of China, which will reduce the cost of Shenzhen Airport. The second part is upgrading of China industrial structure, which means the low-end manufacturing market will shift from China to Southeast Asia countries, and China will produce high value-added production. Based on this background, the Shenzhen Airport will be a gateway of China air transportation between China and Southeast Asia countries and between Azhou and other countries and other cities in China, which will reduce the cost. And the third part is the technology part. Shenzhen Company is now committing to research and develop of drone technology. In the short term, it will increase the cost of research, but in long term, it will reduce the cost of labor and reduce the cost of operation, which will reduce the cost in the future. And then we use the five forces analyze to analyze the cost. The first part is bargaining power of customers, because Shenzhen Airport will be a transportation hub of manufacturing market in the future, so it will receive a large air cargo business volume. The customers has a low bargaining power, the cost will reduce. And the second part is the bargaining power of suppliers. There are two parts of suppliers. The first part is suppliers of land and raw materials. With the support of government and the political of government, the cost will be reduced. The second part of suppliers are suppliers of airplanes. With the trouble and problems between Boeing and Airbus, and Boeing company's plane crash and design problems, the cost of airplanes, the market price is reduced and the cost will reduce in the market.
I am Mai Qingge, and now let's talk about the internal analysis of cost. To analyze internally, we need to identify the resources that fulfill the requirements of VRIO. Here, we are going to focus on three resources. The first one is the constructing hub and spoke network, in which the airport plays an important role. Of course, the airport is a capital-intensive project and will increase the cost a lot. However, if we take a long-term view, the variable cost will be reduced. The parcels will be concentrated at the airport, located in the middle of China, and then redistributed to different places. The direct flights are replaced by many short-haul consecutive flights. The airplane's capacity will be fully used, and the total distance will also be shorter. Almost all sorting operation will be conducted at the airport, and it's a good application of economies of scale. Besides, the airport is designed to be automated, which causes a big reduction in labor cost. In addition, the airport will probably be leased to other express companies, and this will be a way to share the huge cost. Secondly, the good reputation and image of Shenzhen across China market is a good resource, as it makes Shenzhen less concerned about its advertising and promotion. Also, the reputation gives it the power to maintain good relationships with government and partners like suppliers. For example, the government institution occupies 49% shares of the airport, which lessens the financial burden of Shenzhen Express. Lastly, technology contributes a lot to Shenzhen's competitive advantage. Shenzhen Technology was founded in 2009 It mainly aims to build a smart logistics system using technologies like big data, AI, which can improve its efficiency and effectiveness. The process optimization will achieve better allocation of resources so as to reduce costs. And also nowadays, logistics are requiring higher standards and premium services. Strong technology support enables Shunfeng to provide such premium services under lower costs compared to its competitors. Among the three resources, the hub and spoke network and technology advantage are relatively difficult and costly to imitate, and also they are exploited through appropriate organization while the government provides a lot of support. But the image is not that difficult for competitors to catch up with. For example, some of them have already get good reputation for being cost effective. And then I will pass to my partner to talk about the strategic issues.
Now I will talk about the strategic issues. After analyzing the case of SF Express, there are several strategic issues faced by the company. The strategic issues from the PASTEL analysis include the emergence of online retailing and the potential risk arise from the IT development. In addition, the strategic issues from the five forces analysis include the intense competition and the new potential entrants results from the state-owned aviation. The strategic issues mentioned before have different impacts on the firm's performance. We think the most important issues that the firm should solve is the problem related to the online retailing. In recent years, there has been a significant increase in the number of e-commerce users. This means that online retailing can help to boost the development of the transportation and distribution industry. This will also help the company to reduce its costs and increase its value. On the other hand, we think the company can only partially address other issues regarding the new IT development, intense competition, and the new entrants from the state-owned aviation.
The most important issue is how to deal with the emergence of the online retailing. It is recommended that Shunfeng should use differentiation strategy, which can consolidate relationship and improve communication with e-commerce platforms and global distributors. This can help Shunfeng to have better understanding of customers' needs and cooperating more smoothly with the platforms and distributors. To implement this strategy, it is suggested that Shunfeng should have monthly regular meetings with the above service providers, and Shunfeng should encourage them to reflect their and their customers' opinions immediately and frequently. With these methods, Shunfeng can have better understanding of their customers' needs, cooperating more smoothly with the platforms and distributors. Shunfeng can also react on market changes immediately. The second issue is how to solve security issues of technology. It is suggested that Shunfeng should use cost leadership strategy, which is to improve its technological system and employees' internet safety awareness. This can reduce the risk of cyber attack, which can bring a huge amount of money loss. To adopt this strategy, Shunfeng can upgrade its hardware and software of the system and encourage its employees to attend courses of how to maintain internet security. The last issue is how to tackle intense competition. Sunfeng should use differentiation strategy, which is to have continuous improvement of the new airport's operation and sustain its position as the most popular express company in China. To adopt this strategy, Sunfeng should set targets of improvement annually, so that through the continuous improvements, Sunfeng can successfully sustain its position as the most popular express company in China. Thank you, and here are the references.